Right now, the successor to the Manhattan Project is being built inside a computing stack. This is a tech race happening in total silence. No noise, no hype, and no explosions. In 1945, the original Manhattan Project crowned the United States as a global superpower. Today, the stakes for the AI race are identical. The release of the DeepSeek AI model from a Chinese company serves as a wake-up call for the industry, proving that this hidden technological project is already operational and dangerous. This breakthrough was born out of economic warfare. It was a direct response to a massive shock the U.S. delivered to the Chinese market in October 2022. The U.S. strategy focused on suffocating China's tech sector by cutting off access to 3 foundational requirements for building modern AI. The first strike targeted the brain, electronic design automation software. Because companies like Synopsys and Cadence are American-controlled, the U.S. locked their tools behind cloud licenses, making it impossible for Chinese firms to design advanced chips like the NVIDIA H100. Next, they targeted the manufacturing equipment. The U.S. government pressured the Dutch company ASML to stop selling its 3-nanometer lithography machines to China, tools so precise they print patterns 40 times smaller than a single coronavirus particle. Finally, the U.S. banned the export of the actual hardware. Any NVIDIA chip fast enough to run a nuclear simulation became illegal to sell to Beijing. On paper, the strategy appeared airtight. Deprived of the software, the machines, and the chips, the Chinese tech industry was expected to bleed out and die. But the U.S. strategy rested on a specific assumption, that Chinese companies were driven by quarterly profits and shareholder faith. They underestimated a government that prioritizes national survival over the balance sheet. The Chinese government responded with massive, interest-free grants, including $1 billion for Huawei alone, with a single condition: eliminate all U.S. dependency from the supply chain. To bypass the hardware ban, Chinese engineers completely redesigned how AI software functions. They developed the mixture of experts architecture used in the DeepSeek model. Most AI models work like a massive hospital, where every single doctor attends to every single patient. If you walk in with a scraped knee, you are paying for the brain surgeon, the heart specialist, and the pediatrician to all crowd into the room and discuss a Band-Aid. It's incredibly slow and costs a fortune. DeepSeek introduced a router, a digital receptionist. Now when the prompt arrives, only the specific specialist needed for that task wakes up. The other 254 doctors stay in the break room. The model is massive, but it runs with the efficiency of a much smaller system. They also developed a way to compress data packets into highly efficient zip files. This IKEA strategy allowed them to ship massive amounts of information through the lower bandwidth domestic cables that were left after the US bans. By rewriting the rules of how data moves and processes, China found a way to squeeze high-end performance out of restricted hardware. However, software efficiency can only go so far. Chinese domestic chips remain physically inefficient, often requiring 4 times the power of an NVIDIA H100 to do the same work, while generating massive, dangerous amounts of heat. To compensate for this hardware deficit, the Chinese government is providing the massive amounts of energy and natural cooling needed to keep these systems running. This is the core of the East Data West Computing Project, a plan to move the heavy lifting-limiting AI processing to the virtually unpopulated Western provinces. In provinces like Guizhou, they have dug bomb-proof tunnels deep into mountain ranges. By building data centers inside these caves, they utilize the natural mountain air for cooling, saving millions on air conditioning costs. In the Gobi Desert, they have installed millions of solar panels capable of delivering 450 gigawatts of power. That is more renewable energy than Germany and Brazil combined. They are even sinking watertight server cylinders to the ocean floor, allowing the freezing depths of the sea to provide constant, natural liquid cooling without the need for fans or oxygen. By turning their geography into a massive industrial tool, China is subsidizing the immense power and cooling requirements of its domestic hardware. China has now assembled a completely independent technology ecosystem. From Huawei processors to the Harmony operating system, they have built a closed loop that is increasingly difficult for the U.S. to influence. This independence is being tested. When the U.S. recently attempted to sell lower-performance NVIDIA chips to Chinese companies, Many of those firms declined the offer, choosing to stay within their own domestic hardware ecosystem instead. The sanctions intended to cripple the industry acted as a vaccine. They caused temporary damage, but ultimately forced the Chinese tech sector to build a permanent immunity to American economic pressure. This highlights the final lesson. In a resource-heavy race, the player who controls the energy and the national survival strategy has a massive advantage over a rival fighting for quarterly stock margins. China has successfully built a new world outside the reach of U.S. sanctions, and they are now preparing to export this entire technology stack to the global market.